Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are MC.
Royals baseball on a beautiful night in Pittsburgh as the Royals continue their last road trip of the season. They have lost 2 walk-off games to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre, and we came on the air a couple of nights ago, and we were talking about how well the Royals have played at home, and at some point, they're going to have to learn how to carry that over onto the road. And that applies to tonight's starting pitcher, Heath Fillmyer, who was really good at home his last time out against Minnesota.
Yep, for a young rookie pitcher, it's just a process. It takes some time for them to learn how to win out of their own confines. And you know what it is? The mound is the same distance to home plate. The plate's the same size as it is anywhere else. But they may be saying some unkind words to you as you warm up, but he's going to have to get through that. Execute your pitches, stay down in the zone, and trust the defense, but really, really attack, and he'll get back on the beam.
And speaking of pitching at home, tonight the Royals will face Chris Archer, who has a new home here in Pittsburgh. The lineups in the first pitch are coming up next. Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. It is a gorgeous night at scenic PNC Park. 79 degrees for the first pitch tonight, and the Royals are trying to avoid a sweep. We had 2 close games, 2 one-run games, 2 walk-off victories. On Monday night, this home run by Ryan O'Hearn in the 8th inning gave the Royals a 6-4 lead, but the Pirates got 2 in the bottom of the 8th. And then Jacob Stallings, who was born in Lawrence, drove in the run, game-winning run in the bottom of the ninth, and the Pirates won it 7-6. Last night, the Pirates were ahead late, 1-0, until Hunter Dozier came off the bench and doubled in Jorge Bonifacio to tie the game at 1. But in the 11th, this is pinch hitter Ryan Lavarnway, and he drove in Starling Marte, another walk-off win for the Pirates. In fact, the Royals' last 3 games on the road have resulted in walk-off losses. Pirates haven't had a great year. They're 2 games over 500 overall, but they have dominated against the American League and our Toyota League leaders. Clint Hurdle's team is 14-5 against the American League this year, and winning the close ones. They're 7-0 in one-run games. Only the Red Sox have a better record in interleague play this year at 15-4. And the National League this year has clinched interleague games for the first time in 14 years. Here's the Royals batting order tonight against right-hander Chris Archer. Salvador Perez is back in the starting lineup. He was out last night but did get into the game late. And Brett Phillips gets a start. He'll be in right field batting 8th. And the Royals will be facing a familiar face in an unfamiliar uniform. Right-hander Chris Archer.
Yep, that's always nice to know you're going to get a hard thrower, and that's exactly what the Royals are looking for. They want to get into Archer's fastball in the worst way. Score early and often off of him. The opponents have hit 272 off him. Now the keys for the Royals, get that first one. I mean, don't let him breathe. That fastball's 95, but it's straight as a string. Get him first pitch. Put in play this year has been pretty hit hard. 323 whip.
It's a trade that really hasn't worked out for the Pirates. And when the Pirates went to 3 consecutive postseasons, they were thrilled here because they had gone 20 consecutive years without a winning season. But if there was a knock, at least from the fans' point of view, is that the Pirates did not make trades like the Royals did when they went out and got Johnny Cueto and Ben Zobrist. But this year they did. And in July, the Pirates had an 11-game winning streak that put them just 6 games back in the National League Central. They made the trade for Chris Archer. The fans were thrilled. The Pirates don't normally do that, but since then the Pirates have been 6 games under 500, and now they're 12.5 back.
Doesn't always work like they want to, but they got him for the future anyway. Defensively, Corey Dickerson in left field. He's first among all National League left fielders with a .996 fielding percentage. Made just 1 error in 253 chances. Now, Adam Frazier, he started all of the outfield positions this year, and tonight he's making his 49th start at second base. He's a pretty good player. Got some versatility to him.
Paul Nart is our crew chief in his 19th year as a big league umpire. He will be at second base. John Libka will be back at the plate. And Carlos Torres from Venezuela will be the first base umpire. And I think that would be a nice way to spend the evening.
Beautiful night, like you said. Gorgeous. All right, sometimes Witt leads off a game. He swings the first pitch, and sometimes he doesn't. He's had a couple leadoff homers. See if he sits on that first one.
Fastball for a strike at 93. Witt has a 9-game hitting streak with 1 hit in each of the first 2 games of the series, and that is the 4th time that he's had a hitting streak of 9 or more games this year. No balls, 2 strikes.
He didn't want to do that. He just took a picture of that first pitch at 93 right down the middle. He believed that it was coming again. Slider's his best pitch, Archer. He's going to get more swing and misses with that pitch.
I don't remember Chris Archer pitching out of the stretch with nobody on. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I don't either. Part of the adjustment process he's trying to make. He's had some issues. It's way too much to the middle. After talking to their pitching coach, or their assistant pitching coach, Justin Message. Oh man, didn't want to do that. That's right on the outside part of the plate. Good spot. He said he's been more of a thrower and not a pitcher. So but right here, this first at bat here, he looked like he pitched them and hit some corners. Always a guy who throws hard, challenges a lot of hitters.
Here's Mondesi with one out. Mondesi swings at the first pitch fastball. He was 0 for 5 last night. That put an end to a 7-game hitting streak. And this is his 13th consecutive start. Changeup. And it's 0-2. Just off the plate inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Archer's thrown 7 pitches, 5 strikes. And typically he's been a slow worker who throws a lot of pitches and doesn't typically go deep into games, but he's a strike thrower tonight. And Mondesi jumps on a hanging breaking ball and hits it to the wall in right center field. And now he's going to make the turn and hit the brakes.
I believe he could have got there if he'd have kept the pedal to the metal, but he's already in scoring position and wanted to play it safe. Mondesi, he rifled this, his 12th double. I mean, he barreled it. Good swing. Wait, almost like he knew it was coming. That hanger, you can see it. When out of his release point, it's always eye high, and that eye high ball, that's going to be hittable belt high.
So an RBI spot for Alex Gordon, who has been driving in runs. 12 in his last 12 games. And over a little longer stretch, 16 RBIs in his last 19 games. And he gets a first pitch slider. Here's our Kubota power stats. And Alex has hit safely in his last 5 games, with 3 runs scored and 7 RBIs.
Stay hot, get an early lead.
He's driven in 2 in this series. Same pitch, a high slider. No balls and 2 strikes.
Mondesi, he's measuring Archer up at second base. Now he loves to steal third, but I just saw catcher Francisco Cervelli waving at the third baseman, Colin Moran. Move off, back off, don't worry about him. He's not going to steal third. He's telling the third baseman that.
One and 2.
A few Royals hitters have a little history with Archer. Gordon 1 for 13.
That's a swing on a changeup. Alex isn't so sure. Scott Berry is the third base umpire.
Looked to me like he checked his swing. Let's see. Carried it a little different angle than where we are.
So Salvador Perez with a runner at second and 2 down. Salvi was not in the lineup last night, but came on as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning. He got a base hit and then stayed in the game at first base. Last night was a big night for pinch hitters. Mondesi goes to third. The ball hits him, but it ricochets toward home plate. That ball hits him and goes behind him. It's 1-0 Royals.
Yeah, it hit something and kicked back towards the infield. Whatever it hit solid. check it again. He wanted to go. I could tell the first time he got over there. I still couldn't pick up what that hit. Maybe this one we can.
I think it got him either on the knee or above the knee.
26th steal, and that's a good steal there. Look, he knows he can make it. Obviously, he's not going to go if he doesn't believe he can make it. Yeah, but you can throw the ball away, get a run any way you can.
Frazier throws out Salvi, so Mondesi is stranded at third, and Heath Philmeyer will make his 12th start for the Royals tonight. Clint Hurdle, after keeping most of his left-hand bats out of the lineup last night against Eric Skoglund, he's got him back in there tonight. Frazier, switch hitter Josh Bell, Corey Dickerson, Colin Moran back in there against Heath Philmeyer, who is coming off a career-high 7 1/3 innings against Minnesota on Thursday.
Sure looked good. Mixed all of them in, and you know he had all 4 pitches working for him. Especially the changeup. Last 4, not just his last start. Opponent's just 1 for 16, and he's been setting it up with good fastballs and breaking balls, and pulls a parachute out at the right opportune time.
It's a good pitcher's strike zone tonight. Strike one on Adam Frazier. He has 2 hits and 2 RBIs. He fouled a ball off of his knee in the middle of an at-bat on Monday night in the 4th inning, and then later in that at-bat hit a 2-run double. Out in front, there's the changeup, and it's 1-2.
It's an excellent pitch, especially if you're going to face guys 3 times in one night. Gotta have it. More weapons, the better. But you try to get something established early and not have to use all of them early.
Grounded out to Mondesi. He backhands and throws a strike to O'Hearn. 1 away.
Royals forward around the horn. Royals defense is Brett Phillips is back in the outfield in Ned's lineup. He's in right field, just making a 6th start out there. Alcides Escobar, second base for the 2nd time in his career. So we'll see how those guys do.
Heskey moved around quite a bit last night. He was at 3rd, then he was at 2nd, and then he came out on a double switch. Marte hits it well to right field, and there's Phillips. 2 outs.
Did you see Escobar with that shot we had of him? He was talking. He was talking to the other infielders. He was looking around. Sometimes you can't talk because it's too loud out there, but you always got to be watching one another, especially at second and shortstop. With all the stuff that's going on, you got to always have eye contact and communication. Got to have it. These guys looking around at each other, making sure they know where they're playing, especially with runners on, what they're going to do. You got to think a lot in the infield.
Good low strike to Josh Bell. Mentioned the Pirates have done really well in interleague play, so they have several hitters who have done well in interleague play. Bell has driven in 16 against the American League this year in 19 games. That's well hit. Left field corner, and Alex is going to have to play it, or won't get to play it, as it bounces over the wall for a double.
31st double for this young man right here. Switch hitter, likes both sides. Unusual stance there to open stance, uses the whole field. He says it can't be a problem. I had a chance to talk to him today. I met him for the first time, and I asked him about the switch hitting. He said, I've been switch hitting since I've been 4 years old. His dad made him switch hit, told him he's going to have a huge advantage if he continues to play. And he's from Texas. The state of Texas is a football state. I said, did you play football? He said, no. I said, a guy as big as you, how did you get away with that? He says, my dad played and he hurt his knees, and I never wanted to hurt myself like that.
And now Cervelli slams it into center field. Bell will be waved home. Here comes Witt's throw. It's a good one, and Salvi applies the tag, and that's the inning. So last night it was the Royals getting thrown out at home plate on good throws from the Pirates outfield, and it didn't take long tonight for the Royals to return the favor. Merrifield with an assist in the bottom of the first.
Out!
Score thanks to a throw from Whit Merrifield.
I mean to tell you, it was a great throw. Look at, he had time to wind up. Look where this is. Right on the dish, on the money, honey. 5th career outfield assist. Perfect pickup technique, and he takes a nice crow hop, uses the momentum coming forward, and stayed right over the top and followed through. Was perfect. You don't see too many center fielders throwing guys out by 5 feet. Of course, it helped. The ball was hit hard. Got to him quickly.
High slider is in for a strike to Brian O'Hearn, who has 2 more extra base hits. Double and a home run in the series and 2 RBIs. One and one. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's been pretty consistent since he first arrived. He had a home run in his second big league at bat. Then he tailed off for a few days. But now 24 RBIs in his last 30 games. He wasn't getting a lot of hits in his first couple of weeks, but when he did get hits, they were big hits.
And that's one of the things that they look at for a corner player in the majors, the power spots. The corners, you know, the outfield, the right and left fielder is supposed to hit for a little bit more power production. They look for extra base hits, and he's got a ton of them. It's really not that easy. He's making it look easy. He's doing such a good job. Very smooth, staying within himself, and using the whole field. I mean, you know, his 11 home runs this year, 3 have been pulled, 3 have been hit to center, and 2 have been hit to left field. So he's using it, all of it, and then plenty in between with the doubles.
Left center field, Dickerson runs over from left, but Marte calls him off. So 1 down in the second inning, and let's go downstairs to Joel.
Well, Ryan, walking out of PNC Park last night, saw a familiar face. We don't see too many of them here in the National League. It was Chris Archer. Had a chance to talk to him for about 5 minutes, and you know, we think of him as the longtime Tampa Bay Ray, but he reminded us that he's been traded before, from Cleveland, where he was drafted, to the Cubs, from the Cubs to the Rays. But he said that was in the minor leagues. It's just different when you're in the big leagues and you're jumping right into action. He's really excited about being part of the future of this club. He's been with a rebuilding team in Tampa, a rebuilding team in Pittsburgh. And we talked about the Royals rebuilding, and he said the difference there is that they won it. They had such a special core of guys with everyone that was there. He said it was worth every bit of it. I want to be where the Royals were.
2 balls and no strikes against Hunter Dozier. And it always seems like it wasn't a matter of if, it was when the Rays were going to trade away Chris Archer. His name seemed to pop up at the trading deadline the past few years. For 2 reasons. The Rays do a lot of turnover with their roster. And number 2, he was signed to a team-friendly 6-year contract extension 4 years ago. Two balls, 2 strikes on Dozier. He came off the bench last night facing hard-throwing Felipe Vasquez. And on the first pitch that he saw in the 9th inning, he hit a rocket to left field for a double that tied the game. That's Archer's 3rd strikeout, and they're 2 down in the second inning. Alcides Escobar takes on Chris Archer today by AARP. Look at those head-to-head numbers. 10 out of 19 for a .526 average, and it's not a bunch of singles with an OPS over 1,000.
Oh, he owns it. Those are owning numbers. Hitters know it, the pitchers know it. When you roll out of bed, you're saying, I got him, without even thinking. I'm going to get him.
One ball, 1 strike. So Escobar has done well against Archer. And he's also done very well against the Pirates in his career, over .330, and he's always done well in this ballpark. He's played some games here when he was with the Brewers. So in 15 games, he's hit .339 with 7 extra base hits. Still 1-2. Past Archer, and a little indecision between the shortstop Newman and the second baseman Frazier, and that gives Escobar another hit against Archer.
He owns him. Great touch there. They're obviously, look what they're playing, and they're playing him straight up. This little two-hopper up the middle. He sees it out of the box. Escobar hustling hard. Gets the knock. If you're second base, you let the shortstop take that because he has the momentum for the throw going that way. So usually try to get around him. He tried, didn't work. Nice touch.
That'll bring up Brett Phillips. Phillips came into the game late last night and ended up getting one at bat in the 10th inning. Two and 0.
Playing Phillips a pole on the infield and straight up in the outfield.
And now he's fallen behind 3-0. Heath Fillmyer is on deck. Question, HUD, for the Pirates is Chris Archer trending in the right direction? That's his ERA over his last 4 years. That's a 4-pitch walk.
Well, they're going to have to, do some work with him, that's for sure. Ray Sirridge, he's the full-time pitching coach. He's left now to have some surgery on his neck. And Justin Message is the new guy for the rest of the season. And he told me that they got to get him to pitch more, change speeds. He's a thrower. He likes his power guys. Whenever he gets in trouble, like in a situation like this, he's going to throw it harder instead of less is more. There's a lot they can do with him.
This is Heath Fillmyer's first major league plate appearance. Archer got the first two and then gave up the single to Escobar and then the walk to Phillips. One ball, one strike.
Fillmyer, he's a position player in college. He knows how to swing the bat, but it's a lot different. You're not taking BP practice anymore. You're not working on your craft any. But still, best thing to do, stay short with your swing. Just try to play a little pepper with it. Guy that throws that hard, the ball will jump. Help yourself.
One and two. So far in this series, Brad Keller was 1 for 3 with a run scored, getting his first big league hit on Monday. And then Eric Skoglund was 0 for 2, but he had a line out to right field. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Keller triggered a 4-run rally with a leadoff single in the 5th inning on Monday night. And Fillmyer works a full count.
Nice eye. Still haven't seen him swing yet. Like to see him help himself. Got to try to swing the bat. There you go.
Chris Archer has struck out 4 in his first 2 innings. Philmeyer worked around a couple of hits in the first inning. Our Kia drive to success takes a look at the Royals rotation over their last 25 games, and a 3.32 group ERA, which is the second best in the American League over that stretch. However, the team with the lowest ERA is the Rays with their opener concept. The Royals have 146 innings from their starters. The Rays 77 innings from their starters.
That's an interesting concept they've got going.
Corey Dickerson takes a strike.
I don't think you're going to see the rest of baseball change to an opener. There might be a few teams, but there won't be a whole lot of them. It won't be like the shift. One team started shifting, they all started shifting.
That is a fair ball up against a wall in right. Phillips has a strong arm, but his throw is a little bit late, and Dickerson has a leadoff double.
Ball's in and down, as most left-handers like it down in there. Phillips probably about 75, 80% of his arm. Not full 100%, but that was as good as a lot of right fielders' arms right there. 70, 75.
That's his hot zone, pitching Dickerson inside, and if it's in there, he's going to swing more than anybody else in the major leagues, and he's at second base with nobody out for Pablo Reyes. Whit Merrifield in the bottom of the first inning tonight threw out a runner at the plate. Reyes threw out a runner at the plate last night in right field. Bunting, and he missed. 1-1. Pirates do not strike out. They're the toughest team to strike out in the National League. They put the ball in play. They're a line drive hitting team, and as a result, they're second to the Braves in the National League hitting with runners in scoring position.
It's good statistic to be at the top end.
Runner going to third. Good break for Dickerson. And Mondesi throws out Reyes, so runner at third with one out.
Yep, it's a good read. If it's only, you know, like 2-3 hopper, you can get over on that. Anything hit hard, you'll get thrown out.
And now Colin Moran. He had a pinch hit home run against Brandon Maurer in the 7th inning last night. The Royals tied it with a pinch hit RBI double from Hunter Dozier in the 9th. And then the Pirates won it with a pinch hit single to center by Ryan Lavarnway in the 11th. Up and away, ball 1-2 Moran.
See if Philmeyer can help himself here. Execute a couple pitches and get out of this situation here.
That'll be out of play.
Change up. Moran ahead the count. He just kind of took a little stroke on it, right? He just wanted to place it out there. He wasn't trying to do much with it. Interesting. He wants to get the run home. He sees the infield in. He's thinking up there. He's thinking, oh, get that run home with a short swing. Just lay it out there in front of the outfield.
Two and one. Deep to left field. Playable for Alex. And no chance to get Dickerson. So Moran comes through with a sacrifice fly. And the Pirates take a 1-0 lead.
Phil Meyer trying to go soft on him, looked like a breaking ball. And like I could tell the previous swing by Moran, but he was trying to punch it to left field, so he had that field in mind the whole way. Good job of hitting it. He was just trying to do exactly what he did, get the run home.
So it's Kevin Newman with 2 down, number 8 hitter. The dreaded 8th spot in the National League. Typically, they don't get a lot of pitches to hit with the pitcher on deck. I don't know if the philosophy has changed, but it used to be that the number 8 hitter was someone who could really manipulate the bat well and wasn't afraid to swing at pitches out of the strike zone. They had to be creative because a lot of times they're being pitched around. You got a breaking ball out over the plate and lifts it to the right side. Escobar at second base tonight makes the play, and that's the inning. Colin Moran with his sac fly gives the Pirates a 1-0 lead. Gorgeous night in downtown Pittsburgh. Merrifield will lead off the top of the 3rd inning. And remember, if the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. It's a good ballpark for triples, but beware. You can't just go strolling everywhere at PNC Park. And Witt to right field, a dive and a catch. And if Reyes doesn't make that play, pretty good chance $1,000 is on its way to the KC Urban Youth Academy. But Reyes in a gamble goes for a dive. The Royals want to take another look. And it looked like he got it.
Yeah, he did. What a nice route to the ball, man. That's perfect. He picks it right off the ground. It's all catch, all leather. So Witt's telling himself to Reyes, don't hit it to me out there. I'll rob you. Excellent play.
And now down by Mondesi's feet. Mondesi doubled and stole third in the first inning. So that gives him 21 stolen bases since the All-Star break to add to his major league lead. He has more stolen bases than 6 teams since the All-Star break. 2-0.
He's got the skills, but he's not afraid. I like that. He's going. He's got the confidence working.
You and I talked about this a couple of nights ago, where we love to say in sports, stay within yourself. And a lot of young players, when they're first called up, you really want them to stay within themselves. Just do what you did in the minor leagues. Know who you are, know your strengths, know your weaknesses. And then a guy like Mondesi comes along and you say, spread your wings, kid, and let's see how high and far you can fly.
You can't say that for all of them. Oh,
that's well hit.
Man.
Right center field, and Mondesi has tied the game with a home run. And he hit it to the back row of the bleachers. His 10th of the year, and now he has a double and a home run in his first 2 at-bats.
Ahead in the count, 2-1. He knows Archer. He had a feeling he was coming in with a heater. 10th homer. Look at how easy that was. Wow. Well, he spread his wings on that one and threw it almost into the Allegheny.
One on Alex Gordon. Well, one of the concerns this year for Mondesi was whether he could stay healthy or not. And when he was called up, Ned Yost was resting him, and fans, even the broadcasters, were looking at the lineup card and thinking, why isn't Mondesi in there? Bell will take it to the bag himself, and Alex is 0 for 2, and Mondesi has had to work on the mindset of playing every day. And what keeps coming up is that there's a stigma, and apparently specifically among Latin players, that don't go in the training room. You don't want anyone to think that you're hurt or you can't play or you're soft. And so Royals have to convince Mondesi, hey, when you go in the training room, it doesn't mean any of those things. It just means you're maintaining your body.
That's right. And he's right. There was a stigma. I don't know if there still is. Probably. Players, they want playing time. They're afraid if they go in there and they're honest with their feelings, they may not get the chance to play that night.
No balls, 2 strikes. And I'd imagine it's not really the case with Mondesi, who speaks very good English, but there's probably a language barrier issue there. Making sure, you know, when they go in there that they're communicating exactly what's going on. Salvi grounded out to second base in the first inning. And now 1-2 on Salvi. StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
Barreled 105 exit velo. 27 degree. That's a line drive.
Still 1-2.
And you know, communication is so important amongst the team. And then there's nothing worse than when after the game, the media comes in and they talk to a certain player, and the player talks about an injury that the team doesn't know about. Then that causes trouble. So, manager, you're going to get called into the principal's office, and he's going to say, hey, look, you got a problem, you tell me. I want to know. So you've got to always be up front.
And I think that's changed quite a bit over the last 10 or 20 years. I mean, I think the trainer and the manager, if something's hurting, they want to know. And I don't think you're punished as much as you may have been, where, you know, why is this guy always in the training room? Or why is this guy complaining about his legs? Or why is this guy complaining about his arm?
Yeah, so then the media interviews the player. The player goes into the manager's office and tells the manager. And it happened this year with the Nationals. And Dave Martinez says, "Oh, really? He has an injury? Okay, I didn't know about it." And just out front said that. And that's part of the issues that they're having there. You've got to put it into all that stuff. Salvi waiting for a pitch. He can drive.
3-2. Just fouled off of third.
Smart not throwing him a 3-2 cookie fastball down the middle. Archer's had issues with that pitch. Four-seamer, the league's hitting .306 with 5 homers.
Chopped out to third. And Moran is over to first to end the inning. Pirates got a run in the bottom of the second. The Royals tie it in the top of the third on Mondesi's home run. Adalberto Mondesi home run. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. The power of Heath.
Got it.
Philmeyer has allowed a couple of doubles and 3 hits in his first 2 innings. He's had a runner thrown out at the plate in the first inning. Whit Merrifield threw out Josh Bell. And then the Pirates got a sac fly in the second. Chris Archer takes a strike. He is 1 out of 12 with the double. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ned Yost gave us a great breakdown during his pregame radio interview tonight on all of the different things that he has to consider in the National League games. And he just went through the whole game last night.
It was entertaining.
It's about a 3.5 to 4-minute answer on all the decisions he had to make last night that he wouldn't have to make if we were in the American League. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Totally different. And it brought back a lot of memories. The 5 years I got in the National League, it was good. I finished up with 5 in the American, but still, you know, there was like double switches. You know, if you're a defensive player, you know, a bench player, you got to be ready after the 5th inning to go. You got to play every single game. You got to do it.
Got to bring up Adam Frazier. Grounded out to short in the 1st inning.
But you know, he had a reason he didn't pinch run Phillips.
Yep. Pitcher spot was coming up.
Right.
And Gallagher really wasn't available. And so he didn't want to be down to no position players, or he'd have to start pinch running pitchers, which Ian Kennedy was ready to do. O'Hearn takes it to the bag and gets Frazier. 2 down.
Fans, get set for the chilly weather with the 50th season logo hooded sweatshirt giveaway presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors next Saturday, September 29th. First 15,000 fans to the gates will receive the sweatshirt before watching the Royals take on the Indians at 6:15. Be sure to stay after the game for the fan appreciation fireworks show. That is September 29th.
Starling Marte lined out to right field in the 1st inning.
But then, you know, he was hoping that Dozier would get a hit while Salvi was on first base, but he had no idea he was going to rip a double.
Tie the game.
Yeah.
He was just hoping for a single to tie the game.
Right. He wasn't anticipating an extra base hit. And, you know, he would like it, but sure, he wasn't really prepared for that. So, just hearing the manager's reasons makes a lot of sense.
Didn't hit it hard, but he got it past O'Hearn, and Marte will hold it first as Phillips was there in a hurry. Runner on with 2 down.
He does a lot of that. He likes to go to the opposite field. Sometimes he plans on it, sometimes he doesn't.
And I've said this before, I understand and won't even argue with a fan who says, you know, well, let's say you're a Red Sox fan. Would you rather see David Ortiz hit or a guy who's hitting 123 and strikes out half the time he comes to the plate? I mean, that's tough to argue. I mean, I want to see someone like David Ortiz hit if you have a really good designated hitter.
And my high-priced ace pitcher, I don't want to see him get hurt on the bases.
Right. However, with that being said, it's a more interesting game. There are just so many more decisions and maneuvering, and you know, as Ned was saying, you know, if your pitcher's throwing a good game, 5, 6, 7 innings, I mean, you don't have to, you just let him go. But in the National League, if he's throwing a good game and it's a close game, there's Marte running, and he will beat the throw. Mondesi turned to the Royals dugout. I don't know if he was convinced that he had applied the tag. We'll see. But anyway, as Ned was saying, you know, if it's a close game and your pitcher's doing well and his spot comes up with a runner in scoring position, sometimes you got to lift your guy when you don't even want to.
Right. He beat it all the way, I believe. Good jump.
So anyway.
No, you know what? There's a lot to that. I'll never forget being in Whitey Herzog's dugout in 1990 with the Cardinals, and after he made a big move in the crowd, you could kind of tell they were stirring. He goes, can't wait till they second guess me tomorrow about that move. Out loud, he's told the whole dugout.
More opportunities to be second guessed in the National League.
He was like, exactly. He goes, wait till they get a hold of this one. And that's what stirs it up. That keeps it going.
We had a game, I think in St. Louis a couple years ago, Chris Young was pitching really well, but his spot came up, runner in scoring position, and he pinch hit Kendrys Morales, who hit a missile for an out. So close to getting the job done, but now you just took your starting pitcher out, and now you just burned Kendrys Morales for the rest of the game. You know? 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Game's frustrating.
Phil Myers, surprisingly, did not do very well in AAA pitching with runners in scoring position, but it's been a different case in the big leagues. He has done quite well in this spot. He gave up a double to Josh Bell, who went to the opposite field in the first inning. Cervelli is on deck. And that's a strike to get him looking. Phil Myers strikes out 2 in the third, and the Pirates leave a runner at second base.
Great spot. Bell, you got to go.
Ryan O'Hearn, this is his second at bat. Remember, we've been talking ever since he called up about how good he makes the adjustment first at bat to second at bat last night. He made a heck of an adjustment from his second to third at bat. And our Built for Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile.
Impressive. He blew the heater right by him, did that young Tyone, a good stallion. He blew it by him. So the third time up, he goes, all right, you're going to go cheese away. I'm going to go ahead and take you that way. Now here he is. He swings early and he flies out. But that's just a nice sign off of a really good National League pitcher, how he made that adjustment, saying, I'll take you that way. I got power that way.
And there's been a lot of discussion, I know, with O'Hearn getting off to an historically good start. Here's another look at that swing. I mean, it almost as if he expected that that's what he was going to get based on his previous at bat. And where's the evidence that, you know, this is some sort of a fluke? Where's the evidence that this isn't a fluke? And so there are little things like that, making adjustments within the game. I love his ability to hit the ball to all fields. And I'm impressed with how often he works a deep count when he comes to the plate.
Sees a lot of pitches. I shared earlier with him, he's got 11 homers, 6 to center field, 2 to left field, and 3 he's pulled to right. So he's spread all the homers around.
And talking with people in the Royals baseball operations department, one thing that seems to always come up about Ryan O'Hearn is that he is not going to be outworked by somebody else. I mean, he almost wills himself to be a better player. Dozier goes the other way. He'll be at first base with 1 out, and he's 1 for 2.
Mo Lottery replay shows you slow motion here. That's a ball centered right down the middle. 94. It's going to get hit hard, especially by Dozier. He hadn't been missing. He is squaring a lot of baseballs up. Good short compact swing from an athletic body. Strong.
Up and away to Escobar. He had an infield single in the 2nd inning, which makes him 11 for 20 in his career against Chris Archer.
Wow. Time for an extra base hit here. Bowling double down the line.
Runner going, and it's grounded to the middle, and that's a heck of a play by the second baseman Frazier. He played it like a first baseman with his foot on the bag, stretching, and that begins a 4-3 inning-ending double play.
Really right to him. He saw it all the way, did Frazier. Heads up play.
Former Royal, and having just been overseas with George Brett, he was talking about a young Brett Saberhagen living with him and a young Mark Gubicza. He said Gubicza was by the book, always went to his room. Saberhagen a little bit wild. Talking to Clint Hurdle about that, Hurdle said, I also lived with George Brett. So many players over the year, George would say, hey, come on, you can live with me. I'll give you a place to stay. Clint said he was a little bit more like Saberhagen. I'll just take George's stuff and use it. But he said, like so many players, he learned from George Brett. And while everyone has a million George Brett stories, Clint said, I want to focus on not just how good he was, but how hard he worked. He worked harder than anyone. He was more intense than anyone. It was just a thing of beauty, Clint told me, to watch George get on a hot streak and have 3-4 hits in a row day after day. Those are his best memories of George Brett.
Be awesome to be a teammate of somebody like that.
That's usually something that we find out about a player that has so-called natural ability, that they don't get the credit that they deserve for the hard work that goes into it. At some point, it's not just the ability, but the work ethic as well. Thank you, Joel.
Tony Gwynn, he was great for a reason. Studied video. He worked hard both on and off the field. These guys put their time in. Tim Raines, teammate of mine, he was a hard worker. I told you. He had one spot worn on the meat of his bat, and it was just one spot. And you get my bat, and there were marks from the handle to the barrel. I mean, it's just amazing how those Hall of Fame players, how they could hit.
Well, he doesn't feel very good, but Francisco Cervelli is kind of fun to watch when things don't go his way. Little dance there, and then turned his bat into a trumpet.
He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
Pirate fans, they love him. He's got a lot of drama in him. Good pitch by Philmeyer. Stay hot.
He has struck out 3 and now pitches to Corey Dickerson, who lifts it to left field. Alex makes a play. Dickerson is 1 for 2. He scored the Pirates run back in the second. Time for our sprint trivia question. Name the 4 players to hit 20 career home runs for both the Royals and the Pirates. It is not Pablo Reyes, at least not yet. Well, I think Jose Guillen is one.
Yep.
Joe Randa might be one.
Possible.
One ball, one strike.
Was Randa a Pirate after he was a Royal?
Yes.
Really?
Pirates have about 5 of those hits in this 3-game series. Little dribblers up the third base line.
7 infield hits in the last 2 games, make it 8 now. They got more infield hits overall this season. Well, actually, the Cubs are ahead of them, but they got 143 now infield hits. That's a lot. They're second behind the Cubs.
Colin Moran had the sacrifice fly in the second inning. That gave the Pirates a 1-0 lead, and then Mondesi homered for the Royals in the third. Philmeyer's located his fastball well tonight. What about Kevin Young? Pretty sure he did that here. I don't know if he had enough with the Royals.
I like the names you've thrown out there. I'm having a hard time. Guillen for sure. Why don't you go ahead and run him up there?
Jose Guillen.
Ding, 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 ding.
One ball, 2 strikes. Good changeup, and that's been the key pitch for Philmeyer, especially over his last 5 starts. He has 4 strikeouts, and he's only given up 1 run in the first 4 innings. Royals baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Ram. Hurry in and get a great deal during Ram Power Days. And brought to you by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Pick your power, fuel, or battery with Steel. Search STIHL. A 1-1 tie. We've already had 2 close games, 2 one-run games that resulted in walk-off wins for the Pirates. Brett Phillips leads off the 5th inning and hits it hard, but right to the second baseman Frazier, who made a really good play to start a double play in the 4th. Phillips walked his first time up, so he's 0 for 1, and now Philmeyer will come to the plate. Heath worked a full count in his first big league at bat and ended up striking out in the 2nd inning. So we came up with a couple more names during the commercial break. HUD came up with Jay Bell.
I didn't know how long he played here with the Royals.
Which triggered a thought for me, Jeff King.
Hey, there you go.
I feel pretty confident about both those two guys.
Okay, King had some good pop.
Jeff King.
Ding, 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 ding. Wait, stay hot. 2 more.
You want to run your Jay Bell up there?
Jay Bell had some hidden pop. I'm not real confident about that, but it's possible. We have 3 strikes. Let's use one. You want to try? Go ahead.
Jay Bell.
Ding, 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 ding. All right.
1 to go. 1 and 2 on Philmeyer. So I threw Joe Rand out there. Joe was here twice, I think. I don't remember how long he was here, maybe 2 or 3 years. Philmeyer is down on strikes. Mentioned Kevin Young's name. Archer has struck out 5, and now the Royals will begin their 3rd time through. Witt is struck out, and he's lined to right on a diving play by Reyes. Catch that one. And he got it to the side wall. Reyes was not able to get to the ball before it hit the wall, and it kicked away from him for a double.
Outstanding. Wood could use a little bit of that. Now it's a jam shot, but look, when your hands are coming inside, staying inside of that baseball, you're going to find a lot more base hits out there in the opposite field. You know, Reyes, he couldn't do anything about that hit in the cement. He didn't misplay that.
Whit Merrifield is the only player in the big leagues this year with 4 different 10-game hitting streaks. 10-game hitting streaks or more. Outside to Mondesi, who has doubled and homered. So we'll see how aggressive Archer will be with Mondesi this time around. Both balls have been hit to right center field. One was a breaking ball, one was a fastball.
A little bit careful. What are you going to do?
One ball, one strike. 10 home runs, 25 stolen bases, age 23 or younger. And that's since 2010.
Okay.
Pretty good group.
Keep an eye on him.
Cervelli looked like he was surprised that he caught that ball. He reached up and reacted as though he was going to get ready to chase that to the backstop and realized that it stuck in his glove.
Kind of ball like that will hurt your shoulder socket. That kind of velocity.
There goes Witt to third, and he is out. To end the inning, and with Mondesi at the plate.
Well, you don't have a batter in the right-handed box, so it's wide open. Cervelli put the ball right where he wants it over there.
Well, he whiffed there on the tag, but then Witt came off the bag, and there's more contact. So that's not necessarily by the book. And the inning is over. Here's a rip and a miss by Kevin Newman to begin the bottom of the fifth inning. Heath Fillmyer has given up 1 run on 5 hits, and he has struck out 4 in his first 4 innings. Chris Archer's given up 1 run, 5 hits. Chop to third. Dozier bare hands and got him at first base.
How much more comfortable is Dozier at third base now? And he's made so many of these plays coming in, going to his left and his right. He's ready. Likes it. Bare hand. Look, it's just what you want to do. Throwing off with that right leg. Good extension with the throw. He threw the ball up the line.
You see the ball too?
Got him.
Hi, Monty.
Hello.
Do you see the ball there?
Yeah.
I think that was pounded in the dirt. It looked like the ball had a chunk of mud on the side of it.
It did.
Which will affect the aerodynamics.
Dozier's a mudder. Yeah. He's a mudder. I love that.
Monty majored in aerodynamics at Marshall. That is bunted foul at the first base line. So how does mud on the side of the baseball affect velocity and location?
Probably about the same as it would if you had a scuff baseball.
It's going to have a little extra movement.
Has some life to it, no doubt.
Look at him. He's checking his fingers. He's going, I got to wipe that mud off. The heck?
One thing I've learned is those are very difficult to putt if you have that on your golf ball.
That's right. At least in golf, though, you could, pick your ball up and wipe it off.
Got to be on the green first.
Well, at least if you're on the green, but fortunately Dozier can't say timeout, wipe the ball off and throw it to first base.
No, but
that looked like it had a wad of clay on the side of it.
But Fillmyer can, and he got him a new one. How about Fillmyer, Monty?
Looking good. I really like what we've seen. Really, a lot of these young guys, I mean, the whole staff of young starting pitchers have done a tremendous job. And we showed some numbers in the pregame show since back like August 22nd. These guys they're rocking.
They throw strikes, and they get a lot of ground balls, which keeps the defense engaged. They work quickly.
It's been a process, and when you have young guys and trying to establish a new way of doing things, and you have a new pitching coach with Cal Eldred here, first time around for him at the big league level, and a lot of young guys making their debuts this year. It's a process, but when you start to see it all really kind of come together, very rewarding for everybody involved in the organization, especially the guys that are out there on the mound and their coaches who are making it happen.
Grounded out to O'Hearn. He'll take it to the bag himself. 2 down in the 5th inning.
You will take a look at some of Heath Philmeyer's work tonight, and you guys are talking about the changeup, and that's been a pitch that I think he's really almost forced himself to throw more frequently. It's a pitch that you have to have conviction with. You're going to decrease the velocity on a pitch and almost seemingly give the guy a chance to make a swing where he's going to make contact, but you get life on it. You're going to get ground balls, you're going to get outs, and a lot of good things happen from it.
Yeah, Monty, you know, and on the Price Chopper pregame show, you were talking about how the use of all of his pitches, how it worked in his last start. But tonight with the Pirates, very similar. He's mixing them all up. You know, his last outing, he had strikeouts with all pitches, so he's doing the same thing tonight.
And that's one thing that, as a pitcher, if you have those 4 pitches and you have the ability to throw those pitches and demonstrate to the opposition you can throw them any count, any situation, any time, it makes every one of those pitches a better pitch. And they just can't be sitting on 1, not just 2, but now they got to look for 4 different pitches. It makes your job pretty easy.
So is it possible that he's had back-to-back nights with all 4 pitches working?
Really hard to do.
I mean, back-to-back starts,
yeah, really hard to do, but sometimes when you do it, you get on a roll, ride it out as long as you can, like being a hitter who's hot at the plate. You're not going to last the whole season like that, but as long as you can keep doing it, keep going out there.
That's a hanging breaking ball that's blasted to right center field, and that's into the seats. Adam Frazier puts the Pirates in front 2-1.
He's been impressive in this series. You know, he's got a nice swing. You know, and doing some reading up on him before, you know, he's 5'8". He's not a big guy, but he's a real confident player. He believes in his ability. He's got some power. He's a gap-to-gap type hitter. But the fact that he's played all outfield for Hurdle, all spots, and second base as an infielder, this guy's a valuable player. He can hit.
Yeah, and as a pitcher, you go out, you've been cruising along here, you're in the 5th inning, you give it the home run, you got to go right back to your game. You can't let it affect the way you're going at it. You just cannot afford to make mistakes like that. That was one of the few mistakes we've seen him make all night.
And the young pitchers lately have shown a better ability to shake something like that off. And Philmeyer in his last start against Minnesota, he gave up a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning and then retired 19 of the next 21.
Plus, Frazier graduated with a kinesiology degree. Does that make him smarter? You know, Mississippi State University, the study of body mechanic movements. Is that what that means?
I bet he can help himself get out of slumps.
Exactly. I was impressed with that. Anybody who's got a degree and now is a big leaguer, that's impressive. He put in his time. Having the ability to shake off the homer, and we've seen him do it. Philmeyer, Keller's been really good at it.
Ryan, you talked about the young pitchers being aggressive, attacking the strike zone, and I think that's one of the things that the biggest differences I've seen with the young pitchers. They trust their stuff. They trust their ability. And the thing about a pitcher at this level, you've got stuff, and you have to display it. And a lot of times, younger pitchers especially, they're really almost afraid. They feel like they've got to be better. But we've heard to use attack, attack, attack so frequently from either Ned Yost or Cal Eldred during the course of this year. And I think they're really buying into their program.
Perfect example right there, Monty. He was down 3-1 and just threw 2 good fastballs. He's out of the inning. Pirates a 2-1 lead. And now the Royals are coming up in the top of the 6th inning. Mondesi, Gordon, and Perez. Mondesi with this home run in the 3rd tied the game at 1.
Yeah, really nice work from Mondi. It seems like every time he gets a ball lifted, he's got some enormous power for a little guy. The bat speed he generates, his home runs are not, they're not fence scrapers.
I mean, they're not walking.
He will lead off our sonic slam inning. Got a changeup for a strike. Our contestant tonight is Thomas Stadler from Atchison. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Thomas wins $600. Mondesi wanted to bunt. 0-2. And if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park in this inning, Thomas wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Mondesi was at the plate in the 5th inning. Merrifield was at second with 2 outs. And Witt tried to steal 3rd and was thrown out, leaving Mondesi at the plate. And Mondesi has done that tonight. He has doubled to right center field and he has homered to right center field. Six strikeouts for Archer, and that's the first time he's retired Mondesi tonight.
He's definitely staying out of the zone. No, Mondesi got himself out. Happens a lot.
All strikeouts, according to that board, have been swinging, but one of them is looking. So 5 swinging, 1 looking. Alex struck out in the 1st inning and grounded out to first in the 3rd. One and one.
Guys, going back to the 5th inning, Hud, I got a question for you. With obviously when Merrifield gets thrown out at third base, makes a 3rd out trying to steal 3rd. Don't want that to happen. How much do you think of the running game between Mondesi and Merrifield? It seems like there've been a lot more running going on really over this last 4 to 6 weeks since the All-Star break, especially. It's almost like there's a competition going on.
There is. There is. They're competing. And, you know, Witt, he has a lot at stake. He wants to be back-to-back stolen base crown champion. So we might see that here the next few weeks. I mean, with the, what, 11 games or so we have left?
After a night, 10 games to go.
Okay,
yeah.
So, you know, that's just going to be part of it. I mean, you hate to call them selfish, but, you know, if you are successful, it helps the team win.
Yep. I was talking earlier today about, you know, numbers, and guys always want to put up numbers. You know, if you're hitting 293 or 296, you want to be a 300 hitter.
Exactly.
You want to get some hits. You want to find a way to be a 300 hitter. You know, as a pitcher, if you got X amount of wins or saves, whatever, you want to get to that number. And I think it's a good thing. Like Witt, I'd love to see Witt get to 200 hits. Because I think once you get to those levels, that becomes your new norm. I think that's where you want to get to. But sometimes it's perceived as being selfish, and that play on trying to steal 3rd with 2 outs with Mondesi at the bat, I know a lot of people are going to say that is a selfish play.
Well, we're going to see more of that.
Right.
We'd love to keep you, Monty, but I'm being told to kick you out of the booth.
I got to go.
See you on Boulevard Royals Live. creating some distance from Philadelphia, and Washington still hanging in there. Chicago has added to their lead, and now the Dodgers lead the Rockies by a game and a half. Cubs were dealt a blow in our University of Kansas Health System injury report update. Brandon Morrow is done for the year, and he was signed to take over for Wade Davis, who went on to the Colorado Rockies, and he pitched well in 35 games, but he's been out for a while. No more Brandon Morrow for the Chicago Cubs. And we know how important bullpens are in October. Josh Bell, Francisco Cervelli, and Corey Dickerson in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bell doubled and was thrown out at the plate by Whit Merrifield in the first. And he is struck out against Phil Meyer. Base hit right field.
Folks, let's cheer on everyone's favorite Gold Glover, Alex Gordon, in his reserve fan section. Tickets are just $35 and include your seat in left field, a Gordo big head, and a premium Gordo Nation shirt. Don't miss the last Gordo Nation of the season on Thursday, September 27th versus Cleveland. Get your tickets now at royals.com/theme tickets, and let's support Gordo. Certainly in line to win his 6th Gold Glove. You believe that, Rhino?
I haven't seen anybody better this year. There goes Bell, and it looked like a hit and run attempt as Cervelli was trying to shoot it to the right side.
I like that big man that can move. He's got 1 steal this year. He's been caught 4 times, but still, that's exactly what that was. He's 6'4", 235. Bell, Hurdle's putting a little hit and run on.
Bell runs again. It's a high pitch and a good one for Salvi to throw on, and it's an easy out at second base. 1 away.
Ooh, watch out, little chin music coming. Look at Salvi.
And the Academy Award goes to Francisco Cervelli.
Yeah,
that was nowhere near him.
And it looked like it was another hit and run because Josh Bell, he was looking back at the hitter. Two in a row. Salvi will take that. He'll pad his record. That'll only add on to his throwing runners out percentage at 48%. That's best in Major League Baseball. Cervelli and Salvi from the same city in Venezuela, Valencia.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Comes the change. See if the change works. Yep, got him out ahead. Okay, we got 2 and we need 2 more in the trivia.
We have 3.
We have 3.
1 more.
And no strikes yet?
No strikes.
Oh, I like our chances. We have Bell, King,
Guillen. And we've written down Randa and Young. Joe Randa and Kevin Young. Clonked. Out to Escobar.
That's not a
Yeah.
good part of the bat when you hear that sound. Good pitch. 2 outs. We got to get the other answer where they're going to call us out.
Pretty sure Kevin Young did it here. He only spent 1 year with the Royals, so I think that's pretty unlikely.
Okay.
Would have remembered a 20 home run season. Joe Randa was here 2 different times.
Try him.
Well, I've got 3 strikes. Joe Randa. Strike 1. That's lined up the left field line. Corey Dickerson goes to second base with his second double of the game. 1 to right and now 1 to left.
Using the whole field. And there's again a low fastball, which we've been showing you. He's really owned that pitch. 2 outs though. Phil Martin get out of it if he can execute here.
Kevin Cedergren is offering to give us a hint.
We'll take it.
Okay, this guy played for the Pirates in 03 and the Royals in 04 and 05. That doesn't help you out at all.
No, doesn't.
Those were not banner years for the Royals. And 06. He played for 12 teams in his career. Oh, I know who that is.
Okay.
Matt Stairs.
Wow. Ding, 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 ding.
Well, that's
Good.
a pretty good hint. 12
Yeah,
teams.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have got that probably. I didn't even know he played for the Pirates.
There you have it. I would have. Again, that was one of those where we could have been here till November. One of those balls is going to roll foul, and that one does.
And that had a dark spot on it. Look at that. It's a little mud spot.
There you go. Jay Bell and Jeff King, I believe, came over in the same trade for Jeff Granger, maybe left-hand pitcher, former first-round pick.
Okay.
This will be Phil Myers' 80th pitch. Reyes already has an infield single. He had a little dribbler base hit back in the 4th inning and almost ended up with another one. Joe Randa was also in that trade.
Okay.
Joe came up with the Royals, went to the Pirates for a short time, and then came back to the Royals. Chopped out to Mondesi. And that'll do it for the Pirates in the bottom of the 6th. Pittsburgh leads 2-1. we're in with the Pirates leading 1-0 in the third inning. Adalberto Mondesi homered against Chris Archer to the back row of the bleachers. Then with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th, this is Adam Frazier hitting one to nearly the same spot, not quite as deep. And that put the Pirates ahead 2-1. And that's where we are right now. As Frazier jogs back out to second base. 7th inning, we've already had 2 one-run games. The Pirates won 7-6 on Monday night, walking off in the 9th. 2-1 last night, walking off in the 11th. And now 2-1 in the 7th inning tonight with O'Hearn, Dozier, and Escobar coming up. Up and away, ball 1. Ryan has flied to center and flied to left. Now, it's only 140 plate appearances, but that's where Ryan O'Hearn is right now. And with his slugging percentage, that's the highest in American League history in a debut. So it's not a full season, but 140 or more plate appearances. His slugging percentage is the highest in a debut, in front of Ted Williams. And that slugging percentage was .648 coming into tonight. Ted Williams was at .609 in his debut season.
Probably O'Hearn, if we told him that, he'd say, no, I don't want to hear it. He has the whole off season he can go over that. Right now he wants to stay in his little tree. And Archer, one of the reasons why he's dealing tonight is he's doing what they want him to do, what Justin Message wants. He's mixing the speeds, he's changing speeds, and that's been an issue for him. Gear up for fall weather and purchase a themed ticket to our 2nd annual Love Your Melon Night at the K on Thursday, September 27th. Enjoy watching the Royals take on the Indians and take home a limited edition KC Love Your Melon beanie with a custom leather patch. Head to theroyals.com/theme ticket to view the beanie and to purchase your tickets today.
That's a swing. Home plate umpire John Libka said no on the check swing, and then Cervelli asked for the appeal. Carlos Torres said that he went around. It would have been nice if Carlos Torres could have worked the plate tonight. He's from Venezuela, just like Salvador Perez and Francisco Cervelli. That'll drop in front of Dickerson in left field. And Hunter Dozier has 2 hits tonight. He's on with 1 out.
Okay, he's staying with the breaking ball. He's going to hit it off the end of his bat, but that's perfect. It's okay. It was elevated a little bit. And Archer going with a lot more secondary pitches because they're working for him. He's got good command with his changeup. Changeup he throws 10% of the time. I'd say tonight he's throwing a little bit more.
Heskey has an infield single, and he's grounded into a double play. And when he grounded into the double play, it was on a hit and run. And there are 2 things a hitter needs to do in a hit and run. Number 1, hit the ball. Put the ball in play.
On the ground.
On the ground. Number 2, keep it out of the middle.
That's where the action is, where they're going.
And he will ground into a double play to the shortstop. And to finish the thought, on the hit and run in the 4th inning, he grounded it right through the middle, and that was a double play.
looks like Archer could be done here at PNC Park. But save the date for the Royals Annual Fan Fest on Friday, January 25th. Saturday, January 26th, presented by Commerce Bank. Take a break from the cold weather and enjoy autograph sessions, interactive games, and player interviews at the Kansas City Convention Center. Youth tickets are just $5. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit royals.com/fanfest.
Lower third of the order, Moran, Newman, and the pitcher spot. Moran drove in the first run with a sac fly in the second inning. Royals are down 2-1, but I'd imagine Cal Eldred is happy with what Heath Philmeyer's done so far tonight. Ned Yost the same. 2 runs in 6 innings. He hasn't walked anybody, and he has 4 strikeouts, and he's at 82 pitches.
He's done another outstanding job. He looks like he's a confident major league starter. Using all of his pitches, changeup's been effective again. That was his key, we said before the game. Very pitch efficient per inning.
His career high is 7 1/3 innings, which he did on Thursday against Minnesota. He's got a good shot at passing that tonight. Yep. He stays at this pace. And he gets a ground ball out to Escobar.
And, you know, Monty was a 4-pitch closer, which, you know, you don't see a lot of those guys. You have to really be tough and precise with your pitches. But he said rarely do you have 4 pitches in one game working for you, let alone now it's back-to-back starts. Philmeyer's had him. Good for him.
Chris Archer has his best start tonight since joining the Pirates. And his best start of last year was against the Royals. Down and away, ball 1 to Kevin Newman. May 10th of last year, he pitched 8 scoreless innings against the Royals with 11 strikeouts. And then tonight, 1 run in 7 innings. So 1 run in 15 innings with 19 strikeouts. Philmeyer gets Newman, and there are 2 down. And now Kevin Kramer, left-hand batter, is going to bat for Archer. Archer was 0 for 2 tonight. Kramer is 0 for 5 in this series. Salvi, like a quarterback, is checking that wristband and going over the scouting report on Kramer, who is not in the starting lineup. I'm guessing that print is very small.
Yeah, I mean, that would be tough to do.
I mean, how many hitters does he have on that sheet?
And it's fairly new for Salvi. This is the first year we've seen him do it, but a lot of teams are doing that with all their defenders. But how about the execution of the changeup? That has been pinpoint tonight. Again, he's really got a good feel for that pitch. Philmeyer's parents came in from New Jersey. You know, he's got his family here. He's really stepping up. Can't control if your offense doesn't give you any run support. And it's not over. Still got a chance to get the lead. Main thing is what Ned always talks about, giving your team a chance to win, keeping you in the game. And they're totally in that slot right now. He's in the groove. Been throwing all changeups. Let's see what he gets here.
Another good sign for a young pitcher. Remember, we showed you last night how tough it was for Skoglund last year getting the third out. He's improved in that area.
Oh, man.
It was close.
But, you know, on the 92nd pitch, you're seeing 93, 94 miles an hour. No sign of fatigue. Velo's there. Time to finish him here. He's looking fastball to hitter.
And he got a backdoor slider.
That's right.
So 7 innings for Fillmyer, and he's only given up 2 runs. Chris Archer had not pitched well since coming over to the Pirates. Here's our Pizza Ranch for the win pitching line. And tonight he gave up 1 run in 7 innings with 8 strikeouts. In his 6 starts prior to tonight with the Pirates, his ERA was 5.5, and the Pirates lost 5 of his 6 starts. His teammates are happy with what he did tonight. And now Richard Rodriguez is a Chevy call to the bullpen. We saw him last night in the same role, coming on in the 8th inning.
Yep. He can really throw that ball. You look at those 82 strikeouts. Man, oh man, it's 64 innings. He's dealing.
They're working in the Royals bullpen, but that scene would tell me that Fillmyer is going back out.
So he's holding court.
Phillips fouls it straight back. He has a walk and a ground out to second base.
Richard Rodriguez, whom Phillips is facing, fastball mid-90s. Good slider, late breaker.
Well, I take that back. I didn't look at my lineup card. Fillmyer would be batting second in this inning, so let me take that back. Okay. That scene we just saw would tell me that Fillmyer's done for the night. But it looked like they were talking strategy.
I thought so too. Callis holding court.
1 down in the 8th.
Enjoy $5 tickets with Price Chopper Ballpark deals. Available now exclusively through the Ballpark app. Get a $5 ticket for the Friday, September 28th game against the Indians. For more information, visit Royals.com/ballpark deal.
Ryan Goodwin with 1 out. Ryan started the first 2 games of the series and was 2 for 6 with a walk. He's hit in 3 straight. 1-1. So it'll be Vasto in the bottom of the 8th. with a left-hand batter, a right-hand batter, and a switch hitter coming up for the Pirates. Hit hard to right field and caught by Reyes. 2 outs.
Too bad. Good wood. I mean to tell you. Come off the bench, get an opportunity to hit. You're hoping you can do that, and that's all you can do. Can't control it.
And that'll bring up Witt, who is 1 for 3 with a double. Up the middle and cut off by Newman. In the dirt, and it gets by Bell with Cervelli backing him up.
Witt always hustling. That ball's to his left. It's a big league shortstop. That play's got to be made.
Look, he didn't quite get the stride that he wanted.
Yeah, and you know, the arm angle, I mean, when you're moving to your left like that, some guys are going to drop down their throwing arm, but when you do, you got to make sure you time the throw perfectly so it doesn't sail. It sailed on him. Likely their shortstop in the future.
It's an error on Newman, so it gives Mondesi a chance to come to the plate with a man on. Witt was caught stealing the last time he was on, and Mondesi was at the plate with several items that would be against the so-called book. Left-hand batter at the plate, which is an easy throw for the catcher down to third. 2 outs. You don't want to make the last out at third. And a guy at the plate who has doubled and homered tonight.
Yep, Tootie took a chance.
So you ask, well, what's the payoff? And one possible payoff would be that with Mondesi's speed, he has a good chance of reaching with an infield single if he were to tap one or get jammed, and so that 90 feet might be a little more valuable when you have a guy like Mondesi at the plate. Oh, and 1.
Rodriguez, he looks like he's quick home.
Big rip. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, they've been getting him out. Fastballs up. At least they did it last time up. Archer struck him out. Up in the zone.
Line foul. Look out, Mitch Meyer. Look at that. That guy lost his beer and didn't get the souvenir, and then his buddy gave him a high five and whacked the beer all over everybody in the area. Check, please.
Yeah, well. Steelers fans, what do you want?
Okay, there goes the beer. And then when he gave him a high five for getting the souvenir, the beer went everywhere. And Mitch barely got out of the way, and somewhere back in Kansas City, Rusty Kuntz has gotten a hernia from laughing so hard. I don't know where Rusty is right now, but it's probably a better spot than worrying about a foul ball whistling by him in the first base coach's box.
Yeah, you know what? He said his vision was bothering him.
So the Royals are scoreless in the top of the 8th inning. It's still 2-1 Pittsburgh with Flynn now coming into the game. Royals baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls, only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. And by Ford, going further so you can. Another close game between the Royals and the Pirates. The first 2 games were decided by 1 run. Here's our Pepsi fans of the game, hoping to get a ball, a foul ball, if not from the first baseman in between innings when they're done warming up the other infielders.
How cool to be that age and be at a big league ball game.
Well, Jerry Vasto was warming up as the Royals were batting in the 8th, but it's Brian Flynn, another lefty, coming on in a Chevy call to the bullpen. And it's 0-2 on Adam Frazier, and right now Frazier's home run is the difference in the game. Frazier, left-hand batter, Marte, a right-hand batter, and then switch hitter Josh Bell are coming up. 3 pitches, and down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
You've been waiting the whole series.
No, I haven't. Just kind of came to me when I said that.
There you go.
I don't think I've ever said that in my life.
Down goes Frazier. That was good. Follow the price, or excuse me, follow the race to the postseason on MLB.tv. For $25.99, watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.com for details. Visit MLB.tv. Take advantage of this limited time offer.
Base hit right field for Marte. He has 3 hard hit balls to right field, a line to right, a single to right, a fly ball to right, which wasn't hit hard, and now a single to right. So that was his plan tonight, to go the other way.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about infield hits. Gosh, Marte, he got 29 infield hits. Can you believe that? That's a lot of infield hits.
And half of them have been in this series.
It seems like it.
Josh Bell is 2 out of 3. Center field. And right at Witt. Marte goes back to tag, but he's not going anywhere.
You tell by the sound he didn't barrel it. Guess who's second in the National League in infield hits that used to get him with us? Lorenzo Cain,
Yeah,
27.
yeah.
He got 27. He used to get a ton of them.
That's the best walk-up song in baseball. That's Amore by Dean Martin. Even, I mean, he's even smiling as he's digging in.
He's digging himself, no question. He's a big leaguer, 11 years in.
Marte has 32 stolen bases, 33 stolen bases. After adding one tonight, he's also been thrown out in the series. Here's Felipe Vasquez, who had a blown save against the Royals last night. And he will face essentially the same hitters tonight. Outside for ball one. Vasquez came in the ninth inning last night to face Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon's leading off the ninth. Then Bonifacio. The Royals have Salvador Perez. And then Ryan O'Hearn, who was in there last night, but Ned brought Salvi off the bench to hit for O'Hearn against Vasquez. One and one on Francisco Cervelli. Two and one. Snap throw, and Marte is back in time. Not running, and it's down and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. Left-hand batter Corey Dickerson is on deck.
Flynn is 4-pitch mix, but he's a sinker baller, ground ball pitcher.
Rounded out to Mondesi. And they go the short way, and Flynn gets the job done in the bottom of the 8th. Last call for the Royals. It's Gordon, Perez, and O'Hearn.
Be a third. Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery getting ready for Boulevard Royals Live. Plenty to talk about, including an impressive road outing for Heath Philmeyer and Chris Archer, who had struggled early in his career against the Royals. Been much better last year and so far here tonight. We'll talk about that and get you ready for the 4-game series against the Tigers coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Ryan?
All right, thank you, Joel. And hopefully we're talking about another comeback against Vasquez. He had saved 24 in a row last night, and the Royals wrecked that, tying the game in the 9th inning. Pittsburgh went on to win in 11.
They did. They got him. 66th game. ERA under 3. He's got great stuff. Good pitches. Hard. 98 to 101 with his fastball. Really nice slider and a changeup. All 3.
Alex Gordon faced Vasquez last night, and it didn't appear to be a very pleasant experience. Let me ask you this. If you were a left-handed hitter and you had to choose between facing Vasquez and getting hit by a train, which one would you pick?
I would want to face Vasquez for sure, but oh, that way. Alex is ready.
Better rip there.
Yeah, he's on it. Well, Alex does not fear anything. He doesn't fear the baseball. He doesn't fear any wall or anything like that. He's up there wanting to make a difference. He wants to tie it up.
And at least now he's seen the ball out of his hand,
yeah.
Even though it wasn't the at-bat that he's looking for last night. Vasquez is not a mystery.
No, watch the breaker here. That's nasty. 86. So Alex is thinking, you know what? He's got to throw that again. 2 quick strikes.
Rolled out to Frazier, and there's 1 down in the 9th inning. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Royals are 2 outs away from hitting a number they did not want to hit this year, and that is 100 losses. The bulk of that damage was in the first half. The Royals were 41 games under 500 in the first half alone. In the second half, they are just 6 games under 500. So it is what it is, but a lot of what happened in the first half happened with players who are no longer here. And the Pirates are another team, among others, over the last month or so that have said, why are the Royals going to lose 100 games? This does not look like a 100-loss team. So, well, you got to go back to the first half. Salvador Perez is 0 for 3. He had a single against Vasquez last night, and now 2 balls and 1 strike.
They won 7 games in the month of April and the 2 days of March. That'll put you behind in a heartbeat.
Two and 2, 99 miles an hour.
Yeah, and if you don't hit it just right, it hurts. That's why Salvy's having a little grimace after that on his thumb.
And it was already hurting before that swing.
He's got an excellent changeup he throws to right-hand batters. Cirelli setting up. That could be it. Nope, stayed heat.
Newman at short. 2 outs. And it'll be Bonifacio for O'Hearn. Bonifacio walked against Vasquez last night. And he ended up scoring the tying run. Up and away, ball one at 100 miles an hour. Bonifacio started the first 2 games of the series. He was 0 for 7. He did have an RBI, and then he had that big walk and run scored last night. Two and 0. And if Bonifacio gets on, another rematch between Vasquez and Hunter Dozier, who hit an absolute rocket last night against Vasquez for a pinch hit game tying double.
I can see it. Good way to get on here.
Look at Cervelli. Three balls and no strikes. He is entertaining to watch. Before that last pitch was thrown, he was frustrated with Vasquez. He just took his mask off and yelled something at him, which is probably no secret because Bonifacio speaks Spanish, and then pulled his mask down right before the pitch was thrown. All right, here we go. Bonifacio's on with a walk, setting the stage for Dozier and Vasquez again.
Okay, it was the first pitch. Last night he jumped on. It was a fastball. We'll see if Vasquez has the courage to throw it here first pitch. Be ready, here it comes. Whack.
He's even out in front a little bit.
It was. That's why I thought it might have been off-speed pitch.
And they're watching the play at the plate, which resulted in an out. Outside, and now Vasquez has missed with 5 straight.
Loves low fastballs. Check it out. 754 slugging percentage. 8th best in the majors. Throw it down there.
Now he's missed with 6 in a row, and now Cervelli, instead of yelling at him from behind home plate, they're going to talk face to face. I'm sure Vasquez is saying, look, I'm trying to throw strikes.
Saying, I don't want to throw him a fastball. Dozier got in the back of his mind, maybe. Doesn't look real happy.
Going to get a fastball. And he hits it to right field. Reyes is there, and the Pirates win it. 3 one-run victories. Ned Yost is done with this series. He's down the steps, and the Royals will move on to Detroit. And the Royals drop to 2-10 in this ballpark, and it's the second straight series where the Royals have been swept at PNC Park. 2-1 final score, and the difference in the game is our Ram drive of the game. This is a 2-out home run for Adam Frazier back in the 5th inning.
Yeah, didn't know that was going to stand up, but gosh, you know, the Royals, they played good baseball, but aren't just well enough to lose by 1 run each night, and that's too bad. I wanted Detroit to have some better luck.
We'll be back.
Good ball, man. Let's go, Mo.